Hi everybody, wondering who is this new face? Hi everyone, again, my name is Hridhaan and I am your new spoken English trainer on Let's Talk. Well, I am really excited for this journey because I have created some wonderful, meaningful content for each one of you. And let's get started with the first one that we have for the day, and that is wrongly used words in English. Well, most of us are not native speakers, and people make a lot of mistakes because of that when they speak in English. Today's lesson is exactly about that. What are those most common mistakes, wrongly used expressions that people use in English, and thereby do not communicate exactly what they are trying to as they speak in English? Let's get started. English is not your native language. When you speak in English, you make certain errors. Here are the topmost errors that people make as they speak in English. These are the wrongly used expressions and phrases that people make as they speak in English. Today's lesson is entirely about looking at these errors and finding a better and the right alternative that is correctly used in English as we speak. Let's get started. The first one in the list is "it is I." Actually, you would be surprised to know that "it is I" is correct. But "it is I" is wrongly used and is grammatically incorrect when people use it in their spoken English. It is, however, as said by a lot of websites, quite correct, and also by native English in itself is quite correct when it comes to writing. It is used in formal writing, but when it comes to speaking in English, it is actually not the preferred way of speaking and communicating the message. The right way is "it is me." For example, it's me who's made the mistake, not "it is I who's made the mistake." People, as I said before, can as well use it in written English, but not actually in spoken English. So make sure that you use your example correctly. Let's quickly move to the next one. According to. Well, this is one of the classiest ones that people have problems with. According to me is the expression that people use. According to me. Really? We use "according to" for the second person or for the third person, but not in first person. We do not say according to me when you have to express your opinion. Instead, you say "in my opinion." As in how you express what you feel about something. So make sure that you use "according to" when it comes to second person or third person. For example, according to you, or according to, let's say, the Times of India. That is how we use "according to" in second person and third person. And in my opinion, when it's always about your opinion, but never use "according to me." That's right. Let's move to the next one. Among. Among has a lot of problems and confusions with the word between. But what is the difference between the two? Let's say if I say the important documents are among the books, and if I say the important documents are hidden somewhere between the books, which one is right? Well, let me explain this to you using an example. Let's use this pen. If I say the pen is somewhere between the books, that means there are only two books. There is the book here and there is another book here, and the pen is somewhere in between. So we say between the books. But when we use "among," it could be a lot of books actually, right? So make sure that you use it correctly. Among is for many, and between is when it is actually stuck between only two things. So make sure you use the right word. Next one is by. What is by? Let's say if I say, people speak like this, I am going to New York by London. What do you mean by I am going to New York by London? The right word to use in this situation is via. V-I-A. I am going to London, I'm going to New York via London, but not I am going to New York by London. By is actually used for a vehicle. Again, a very important error that people make. It's not vehicle, it's vehicle. Let's come back to the point. By. I am going to New York by, let's say, Emirates flight 201. But we do not say I'm going to New York via flight. Even that expression is wrong. By is used for vehicles. And via is used for the route, basically. The route that you are passing from. This takes us to the next one. Literally is one word that has become quite prominent, quite famous amongst a lot of English speakers. People think that literally means it is used as an emphasis. Literally this, literally that, literally, etc., etc. But literally has a very, very important meaning. Literally primarily means something that is true, but people use it in the wrong context. They say literally is actually something that is used for, exactly, emphasis, which is wrong. Literally means anything that is true. So use it wisely. Let's move to the next one. Two words, afterwards, anyways. Have you heard people using these words? Two words, afterwards, anyways. I think I have seen a lot of people using these words. But what is the problem in using these words, basically? The problem is that we do not use the S with any of these words in English language. So if you're making a sentence and you're using any of these words, make sure that you remove the S from it, because words with S, especially in this context, do not exist. So the right ones are to word, afterward, and finally, anyway. Not two words, afterwards, anyways. Let's move to the next one, novel. People think that any book that they read is a novel, but actually it is not right. A book that is fictitious, a book that is based on a story which is not real, unreal, that is called and referred to as a novel. So, a fiction story is a novel. Any book that you read is not a novel. For example, yesterday I was reading a book that says how to teach how to learn English. Now that book is not a novel. That is actually a real book talking about real knowledge. So that is not a novel. A novel is a fictional story that you read. Let's move to the second last one in the list for today. We have supposed to. A lot of people, when they speak in English, when they try speaking fluently, which is very good, one must do that, people say supposed to. But can you see what is the error here? The error actually is not using the ED with supposed to. Now this phrase makes sense. Supposed to is used like this. I was supposed to reach the office by 1 o'clock. But people remove the D in it, and people say, I was supposed to reach the office by 1 o'clock, which is wrong English. Supposed to means that you were meant to do that you were actually expected to do that. So it is always with D, supposed to. One very important trick here. when you speak in English, the D gets silent. So make sure whenever you're writing, automatically the D should be there. But in speaking, even if it gets silent, it's totally all right when you're speaking the sentence in fluency and fast as well. Let's move to the next one. Who do you think it is? A female fiance or a male fiance? When, I have the answer for you. When you add only one E, it is the male fiance. And this problem basically arises when people write this word in English and the people refer to a female. No, that is not right. Whenever you write fiance with a single E for female, that is wrong English. It is with a single E for male. But the moment you add double E to it, that's when it becomes right for a female. That is all we have for all the wrongly used words that people use most of the times in English. I hope this lesson helped you in understanding language better, and please do make sure that you use all of these phrases correctly as you speak in English. Now you have to do something important. If you liked the video, I'd like each one of you to please put in a comment and do let me know whatever you'd like to study next, and also do subscribe to my channel. Take care, God bless, and shine bright.